Hello, hello. Welcome to Just Jenna. You have no idea how excited I am that you're here. I'll be sharing the wisdom, questions, and curious little truths I've gathered along the way. From brilliant thinkers to weird memes, from ancient texts to the knowing of nature. Some of what I've learned came from books, some from breakdowns, some from simply paying attention, and some from fumbling through it myself. My hope is that these stories expand you the way that they've expanded me. So maybe, just maybe, you don't have to trip over the same parts of life I did. And if you do trip and fall, it's okay. I won't tell anyone. Hello, everybody. I hope this sounds okay. I do not have my microphone with me because I am in Michigan and I need to cut to the chase. I did not upload an episode last week. You might be wondering, Jenna, what is up with that? I thought we were devoted to this. Well, let me tell you. I did record 2 episodes, but I thought they were quite invaluable? No, invaluable would mean like they have so much value. I thought they were shit. I thought the 2 episodes I recorded was shit. But now I have been thinking about releasing one of the episodes because I went on like a 35-minute long tangent about how I'm feeling really weird about social media, but I wasn't able to articulate myself. I just kept saying, I feel weird, I feel weird, I feel weird. And I was like, this is adding no substance to the digital space. But now, today's episode, you guys, I have so much gas in the tank. I have so much shit I need to say, and it's going to be about social media because it is just heavy on my brain right now. And I have like 3 things that I really want to touch on. I wrote some notes down, which I haven't done in a really long time either. So I'm like, this is going to be a heater. Sit back, kick back, take notes. I don't even know, but I'm about to go in, okay? I'm about to go in. All right, so I've had 3 realizations about social media the past couple of days. I've been really sitting on this for quite some time, and I think it's important to give a bit of a backstory. For as long as I can remember, I've had a very complicated and internal back and forth dialogue going on in my brain about social media and my personal use. And I guess not only my personal use, but just how other people use it as well. I started therapy back in 2021, something like that. And I would want to say at least 70 to 75% of my sessions with my therapist over the course of 3.5 years, we talked about social media. It's just something that's always been it's just been in the forefront of my brain, again, feeling complicated. But I do feel like I'm coming into some awareness, I'm coming into some knowledge, so that's why I want to get into it. But also, as some of you may or may not know, I've been journaling ever since I was 8 years old, and I've kept every single one of my journals. And so I've been able to go back and reflect. And like I said, I'm back in Michigan. And I went back into my journals. I'm talking about social media all the time. I have an awareness. I have a knowing. And I'm tired of not listening to myself because that's my whole shtick. Is like listening to myself, listening to my own inner wisdom. And yeah, social media feels complicated. But it's starting to feel less complicated. It's starting to just feel very intense. I had 2 people say something to me within the last month that has changed the trajectory of my life because they have introduced a new thought or a new way of thinking about social media that cracked something open for me because it just made me really curious and I've contemplated on it a lot. The first thing was that I was speaking to a man and he said to me something that completely just like felt like I was standing on glass, but I thought it was concrete. And when he said this to me, the illusion of the concrete disappeared. I realized I was standing on glass and I felt like everything was cracking beneath my feet. Very dramatic, I know, but I am so fucking dramatic. He said to me that porn for men is what social media is for women. Okay? Now, I'm a woman. I can see why porn and like the way that porn is being used for men in today's day and age, I can see why that is like a complete illusion of intimacy. It is so clear to me. But that's because I am an outsider looking in. It feels very no shit. However, for a lot of these men, which I've had the lovely opportunity to get very close with some straight men recently, and they've been very candid about their experience with porn. And I've just been listening because, again, it's not my experience, but like men are having a complete experience right now that I was just completely unaware about. And a lot of it has to do with porn. I'm not judging. I am literally just observing and being like, okay, wow, so interesting. Porn is affecting men, okay? And especially in today's day and age and climate, it just is. It's like, it's insane to me. It's absolutely insane to me. Like this addiction and this like battle that men are having with themselves, their brain, and porn. Okay, and like I said, it's very easy for me to see that. But when he said porn for men is what social media is for women, that wasn't as easy for me to see because I am woman. I am in it. I'm in it, right? But because it felt so true what he was saying to me, I was like, wow, okay, like I must look at this. I must look at this relationship that I'm in with social media and just have another candid conversation with myself about it because it just feels important. Like every single time I think about not wanting to be on social media, because I think about not being on social media all the time. One of the first things I think about is one, oh my God, it's like, that's connection and community. And I don't live near my family or a lot of my friends anymore. And so like, I need social media to stay connected, to be connected to all these people. That's what my brain is always telling me. And now I'm like, that's a lie. That is a lie. In the same way that porn creates this like falsehood of intimacy and connection for men, social media is creating this falsehood of connection and belonging and storytelling and social inclusion for women. That's what it's feeling like to me. Okay, I'm going to go into it more, but that's just the first thing I need to bring up, and I will go into it more. 2, I had someone bring up to me in my yoga teacher training. We were just talking about social media, and we were talking about consciousness and universal laws and things akin to that. She brought something to my brain that has shattered me completely. She said that social media does not operate on the same laws of nature. As we know, the laws of nature, Google the laws of nature if you're interested. But from what I'm going to be expanding upon today, probably, I actually have no idea what I'm going to be talking about. I'm just kind of like letting it loose. But when you think of the laws of nature, I personally always think of reciprocity. I always think of give and take. When you give, then you take. When you take, then you give. There is this like equal energetic exchange always happening. There's always a balance act happening, and it is always for the greater good of everyone a part of the ecosystem, right? Think of yin and yang energy. Think of, I don't know, go outside and like go look at some animals and plants. Like that is what nature is. That is what nature is all about. And she said that social media is operating by different laws. Why? Because social media is man-made, therefore manipulated. That one felt good. Anyways, but it's operating by something completely different. So many people, especially, are telling, I don't know, this is the messaging I'm getting of like, oh, if you like continue to post and be consistent, then you will receive some type of benefit. But that's that's bullshit. That is bullshit. We think that those same rules will apply because we're human beings living in the human being world. But social media is not real. Well, it's not saying like it doesn't exist. It's just like it's not real in terms of like nature, laws of nature. Or I don't know, just like all of these things I think about now. I'm like, this is just bullshit. And so then I got to thinking the other day, what is nature? Nature is consciousness. Nature is the universe, nature is God, right? What is the opposite of consciousness? I'm going to use two words here interchangeably. I'm going to say unconsciousness or subconsciousness, okay? I'm going to be talking about the same thing. Whatever word feels good for you, use that one. So I'm like, okay, what rules? Because when we were talking, we were like, social media does not operate at the same rules of nature. So then I'm like, well, what rules? And then I got to thinking, if social media operates as the opposite of consciousness, which you could argue is unconsciousness or subconsciousness, then the same rules apply there, which is driven by fear and keeping you stuck in patterns and pattern repeating and keeping you contained in a system. And it's so just like, it's unexpansive, it's non-creative, it's very competitive, it's very fear and scarcity driven, okay? It's survival driven. That's the other point I'm going to continue to go in. The third is my other revelation about social media. And it's about thoughts. It is about your thoughts. Because I'm having a moment with my thoughts. I'm having a moment of just like utter, not even like my thoughts, but like my brain. Like my mental health, my brain functioning well is the most important thing to me. And I'm not just talking about having like the absence of anxiety or depression. I'm talking about like the genuine health of my brain. Like being able to focus, have joy, have creative ideas, think new thoughts, and just truly be me. That is so important to me. It is so, so, so important to me. And it is so evident. And this is the part that's been evident to me for years now, but I feel like I'm to the point now where I don't care about anything else anymore, because my whole life is going to pass by whether I want it to or not. And I'm speaking about this for everybody. Like, life is moving, whether you want it to or not, whether you have any awareness of it or not. And it is so important to me to be able to tune in to my own thoughts, my own brain, and make decisions based off that. I do not want to be making decisions based off of thoughts that are not my own. And I believe being on social media, being a consumer, even being a creator, like, damn it, because that's also been my whole thing. I'm like, I'm just going to create. I'm not going to consume. I'm not going to consume. But I have been creating, and it doesn't even matter anymore. I'm like, oh my God, it is so apparent to me that I'm not having my own thoughts. Or it's impossible to even be on your phone, to be on any type of social media, even if you have this like wonderful, bright and shiny awareness, as I believe I do. It doesn't matter. It does not matter, because you're still being conditioned, because we live in a conditioning system. We're always going to be conditioned, no matter what. It's not like you can completely avoid being conditioned, and also being conditioned, like, it's not all this like horrible bad thing. But when you're on social media, it's just weird, okay? So having your own thoughts is really important, and having my own thoughts is very important. And I'm just seeing it so clearly. Like, I see so many people, especially after moving to California. Wow. But I see so many people that all act exactly the same, and it feels like very performative. And I see a lot of people doing things that I'm like, I don't even know if you want to be doing that, but you're doing that, and that feels weird. And I know you're only doing that because of social media, and everyone dresses the same, everyone talks the same, everyone acts the same, everyone has the same exact thoughts, and it's bananas to me. It's absolutely bananas. So, okay, let's move on. That was a crazy intro. That within itself could like damn near be a podcast episode, but nope, I'm going to go into it even further, and I'm really going to try to stay focused. Okay? So first, I want to go back to porn and men and social media and women, okay? So when you think about porn and the male brain and why it hooks them, again, this is based on like what I have been gathering by observing and just listening and asking questions to men that are being candid and vulnerable with me, which thank you. I feel like this is a really important conversation to be had and to be having, and I just appreciate being in the seat of the listener and just taking all of this in. Anyways. So when you think about like the primal male brain, they're very novelty seeking. I wrote these things down. They're novelty seeking, visual sexual cues, and achievement and reward loops in men. Okay? Men need to feel like they're achieving, and men need to feel like they need to spread their seed. Okay, I'm talking about primal shit. I'm not trying to like be controversial. I'm literally just saying shit out loud. Okay? And porn gives men unlimited novelty and like this like super like normal stimulation and instant gratification. They don't have to work hard. They don't have to put in any effort to get the gratification that they're spreading their seed. Okay? I'm really just saying some shit out loud right now and I'm like, woo. Anyways, but that is... I think I am going to make an entire episode about just like masculine and feminine energy, yin and yang energy, because I really want to go into it. And I do feel like I am at a place now where I can articulate myself in a way that feels good, great, and dandy for both myself and for the listener. But before social media, before porn, before all of this bullshit, men had to make a great effort to have sex with a woman. Have sex, spread their seed, do the thing, have like intimacy. Like it took effort. They had to do things. They had to work for it. Now they don't have to do anything and they just get whatever they want and they get the whatever specifically curated thing they want, they can get it without any effort at any time they want. And it's literally in their pocket at all the times. Okay. And I do have my thoughts about men right now, but I'm going to really try to keep this focused, okay? So the consequences of this. Dopamine desensitization, desensitization, whatever, you get it. They're desensitized. Okay, yeah, dopamine desensitization, whatever. Performance issues. I do think men are having performance issues, and I'm talking sexually and emotionally. They're having like social issues and emotional numbness, because also I am talking about heterosexual cisgendered people. For a man to have intimacy, to spread his seed, to do that primal thing that he wants to do, he would have to tune into his empathy, because he needed to do that to be with women. He doesn't have to do anything anymore. He doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to put forth any effort, and he doesn't have to emotionally even be present. Okay. And it's just, these are the consequences of that. Moving right along. Let's talk about social media and the female brain. Okay. So the primal wiring of women is social attunement, status selection, like status mate selection, and emotional connection and storytelling. So what social media gives women: endless social comparison, microdoses of validation, and parasocial bonding. Emphasis on parasocial bonding. It's not real bonding, but we feel as though we are either one, missing out if we're not on social media, or two, that it is somehow giving us intimacy. It's not. Social media is not giving us this thing that we're craving and this thing that we think is happening. Also, it's interesting because it's easier for me to see like porn and men than for me to see like women in social media, because I'm still kind of like in it. I'm getting out. I feel like I've been transitioning out since I've been 18 years old. Like I've been playing around with this shit for years, but like right now especially, I'm like, holy shit. Okay, anyways. But what are the consequences of social media and the female brain? Because we're wired for connection, baby. We are so wired for connection. It's not even funny. Well, actually, men and women are all wired, whatever brain you have, we're all wired for intimacy and connection. But the way that we are outsourcing it, the way that we're going about acquiring it, is inhuman. It goes against the laws of nature. And it's causing so much just like intimacy issues and connection issues and emotional issues and lack of self-esteem and, oh my God, I could really, whatever. Okay, so the consequences of this for the female brain in particular is anxiety. Okay. Fragmented attention, which I think this goes to both, but like, especially women, because I do think we do tend to lean a little more anxious. That's my personal opinion. I didn't do any research on that statement. And then a diminished real life satisfaction. Because I think it's just like, it's our overall life. It's the whole fucking caboodle, okay? I think for men, porn is like this cheap, visual, mating success simulation. Emphasis on simulation. And I think for women, it's a cheap, social belonging, admiration simulation. Okay? But I think it's completely attacking something like primal in our brains, but it's not giving us that thing in return because, like I said, social media is operating by different rules. The laws of nature would say, yes, if you put effort into this thing, if you do this thing, you will get something in return. We're not getting anything in return, people. Wake up. I'm like, fuck, this just feels, it just feels so important. Men's need for novelty and their sexual drive, which also we have shamed men for this. We are all shaming men for this, but I'm like, this is primal. We need to let them have it. Anyways, men's need for novelty and sexual drive and women's need for belonging and social attunement is being exploited. Also, that's the same. Like, the need to belong and social attunement, we don't need to shame women for having that either. We don't need to shame anybody for having any of these things. But I just think it's like we need to start talking about it. We need to start talking about it because neither of these things fulfill the need and neither creates any intimacy or connection. Like, you don't feel connected to other people and you also don't feel connected to yourself. And here's the other thing. Here is the other thing real quick. I feel like this kind of like slips into the whole, like, I'm not even here to talk about how social media is an addiction, but I feel like I do want to like say a point about this. There's a shitload of movies, documentaries, and books about social media and addiction. We all know this. And I just want to put something out very candidly. I have the addiction gene, okay? And I can feel, like, I feel this, like, tingling. I can feel this thing inside of me when something feels like it could be or it is addicting or addictive, right? And I've never even done an episode about alcohol, but I would love to do an episode about alcohol. Anyways, I'm not drinking alcohol, and I was on a walk with Hallie in Chicago well over a year ago now. We were walking around, and her and I were both, like, actively, at this point, I remember her and I were actively, like, trying to do whatever we could do to have a good relationship with alcohol. We were like, how do we avoid like a bad night? How do we avoid getting too fucked up? How do we do all these things? And we were putting forth so much effort to have a good relationship with alcohol. We were walking around. I think I said it. It might have been her. It's not the point. We are both thoughtful, beautiful creatures. And it is because we were together that we were talking about it. Doesn't matter. Someone said, why are we forcing ourselves to have a relationship with something that is bad? Like, what if this is just like bad, you know? And I know it sounds kind of like stupid, but I think it's true. Like, because in that moment, I remember telling Hallie, I was like, if alcohol was a man and like it took me this much fucking effort and it was this hard and I was having this many negative outcomes and consequences, like I wouldn't be with this person. I wouldn't be in a relationship with this person at all. So why do I keep trying so hard to have a relationship with alcohol when it might just not be like the person for me to date? Because I think about it in terms of dating. I think it's easier for our brains to conceptualize it. It is for me. And I've been thinking about that with social media again, because it's like I have put in so many rules, so many regulations, so many things. I haven't gone on my phone in the morning in over 2 years. I haven't brought my phone into bed, on my bed, or I don't go on my phone at night since January. Like, I haven't done anything. I barely consume. I only create. Well, see, that's also bullshit because, like, I am consuming still. But, like, I don't consume as much as other people, whatever that means. And regardless, I'm just still seeing that, like, I am trying. If social media was a man in my life, I would literally be like, this is not working. Like, I am doing all the work here and I'm getting no benefits. Oh, what? I see every once in a while, like, someone from high school post something that they got engaged. Okay. Oh, I learned something new every once in a while. Okay. Like, that's all I get. I feel like social media is like a breadcrumbing relationship for me, where it's like every single time I try to think about the benefits are so just like stupid. It's like, oh, I learned something every once in a while and I see what some of my friends are up to, which is not even fucking true. It's not even true. It goes without saying I'm not on social media right now, but anyways, it's just how I've been thinking about it. Like, I don't even know if this is a relationship worth making all this fucking effort for. Okay, moving on. Oh my God, I'm not even, okay. Let me take a sip of my coffee and keep it moving. The other day I heard of something, and I've never heard of it before, and it's called Mimic Desire. MIMETIC desire. This type of desire is we don't always want things because we truly desire them. We want them because we see someone else desiring them. I feel like that is so much about social media and so much about what is going on in that place. Like, there's a difference between like your true innate desire that is coming from your heart, that is coming from a place inside of you that is so unique to your own personal journey in this one miraculous, beautiful life that we live. And then there's also the desire that comes from being online and seeing other people have things and thinking that you want to do them. I can even tell you, I have this one friend who has came to me on multiple occasions and has said, I feel like I should be in Europe traveling. I feel like everyone our age is always, she always just talks about travel, and so I'm just going to bring this part up. But she's always like, I feel like I should have done the backpacking around Europe thing. I look at all of our other friends and how everyone's traveling, and like, I've never traveled, and I feel like I should do that, and I feel like I would want to do that. I feel like I'm wasting my life, and blah, 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 blah. And every time she says this to me, I know this person very well. Every time she says this to me, I'm like, you would not like traveling. Like, do you even want to do that? Would you want to travel? Or do you just see other people traveling and you think you want to travel? Like, you don't like being out of a routine. You don't like travel. Like, you don't even like traveling, but you think you want to travel. And I'm thinking about this in terms of groupthink, in terms of mimic. Is it called mimic desire? Metic desire? I don't know. Okay. But it's having this desire that is just, you think you have it. For example, so many people want to either like climb a corporate ladder because maybe they're seeing it online and they think that they should or think that they want to. Or some people are like, I don't know. I feel like there's a conversation. My algorithm, at least for years, has always been like, fuck men. Men suck, whatever. And I'm like, this is and I knew this years ago. I was like, this is a horrible message to have in my brain, because if I constantly think all men are bad, then that's going to be my reality. That's the other thing I just want to like put back in there. This kind of goes back to having my own thoughts is very important to me. Like, your entire reality is based in your brain. Okay? If you don't know this, I don't think you are my audience, because I'm like, I don't have the time to go into this right now, but your entire reality is based in your brain. Everything starts as a thought. And so if you're constantly telling yourself that like all men are bad, then you will only see that all men are bad. And if you're telling yourself that all these horrible bad things are happening, then that is your reality. That is what's going to be happening in your life. So if you tell yourself you want all these things and you don't currently have any of those things, you're going to be creating suffering for no reason. And social media feeds this like constant exposure to these like curated like lifestyles and careers and relationships that it's like, do you even want that? Would you even want that? Would you even want that career? Would you even want that type of relationship? Would you even want that type of life? But we're thinking that we do. And it thinks like, it's just shifting it's shifting people's like authenticity so much. And I'm like, oh God, I can just see it. And it's weird and strange. Okay, moving on. So the unconscious, I'm going back now. We're done with the porn conversation for now. The porn and social media, men and women thing. I want to talk about the unconscious laws behind social media. So the subconscious mind, or the unconscious mind, is fear-driven, pattern repetitive, and a morality filter. Like a very on a survival, like your survival needs need to be met, and you're driven by fear and scarcity. Something I think about a lot in terms of the subconscious, unconscious mind is how what word do I want? Like the motivating the drive behind this, because I don't think the unconscious or subconscious mind is bad, but I think it's really important that we have an awareness about like what it is and what's going on, because the subconscious mind is driven and wired to keep you alive, not make you happy. And when you're driven to stay alive, it might not be like in your best, most abundant way forward in life, because you're going to end up repeating these like protective pattern behaviors, even if they're destructive, because it believes it's keeping you safe. Like avoiding risk because at some point risk equaled pain, or avoiding love because love equaled betrayal, or avoiding connection because connection equaled abandonment. Like whatever it is, it doesn't matter, but like that's just how it works. And I don't know, it's just like these like deeply ingrained like prejudice or self-sabotaging behaviors can exist even in people whose conscious beliefs are opposite. And I think I have an awareness about this because of OCD as well. Like OCD is ego dysonic. So I have a very like loud awareness that my thoughts are not mine, and that the things that are being processed through my brain are just nothing but thoughts. Like they're actually not significant, but we are feeling as though social media is significant. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I believe the subconscious mind is operating at the same laws and rules as social media. And this is a thought experiment I did on myself a while ago, and it's just like getting too loud for me to like ignore it. And I've done this so many times, so do it if you want. But just think about or write down your perfect day. Every single detail that you physically can about your perfect day. And close your eyes if you can. Or I mean, if you're writing it, obviously don't close your eyes, but like close your eyes and think about it first. Like emotionally, get your emotions involved. Think about it. What is perfect for you? And I've done this experiment on myself on multiple occasions, and you can do this for a lot of different reasons. And I was just doing it because I was just curious, like what's going on with Jenna at this point in time. I did this probably about 2 months ago. I was on a walk, and I was just making a voice memo talking about the best day ever for Jenna. And it just became very apparent to me that the best day ever for Jenna I never talked about technology, I never talked about my phone, and I never talked about creating any content, obviously consuming. I feel like no one is going to talk about their favorite best day ever, and they're going to mention consuming social media, right? But it was just important for me to recognize that I didn't even talk about creating content, because I've been creating content on social media for a while. And in my best day ever, that was not mentioned. And I was like, interesting. Like, I just need to note this. And then I started thinking back on some of my favorite days, my favorite moments of my life. And none of them involved social media. None of them involved creating or consuming or any of that nonsense. And like, it just kind of feels like enough is enough. I'm like, it really just feels like enough is enough. I don't feel like I need to participate in this like bullshit thing anymore. Ugh. I've just been thinking about like the algorithm, like a social media algorithm is an unconscious mind hacker. It is an unconscious mind hacker because it follows engagement laws. Engagement laws are rooted in exploiting our emotional triggers. And that is how the subconscious mind has like created these patterns by like these big emotional moments in our life. So just like the unconscious, subconscious, social media prioritizes emotional charge over truth. Outrage, fear, anger, novelty, they keep people scrolling and keep people sucked in because but the truth is so important to me. And I'm like, you know what, maybe for some people this is not your journey, but like my entire shtick, the entire point, I think, for me, being here, being alive, is to evolve and to grow. And if I'm staying in the subconscious mind, or if I'm staying on social media, it is keeping me stuck in patterns. It is keeping me stuck in emotional charges, and it's not keeping me on a progressive path forward to growth and evolution. It's keeping me stuck, and I don't want to be stuck. I want to keep growing. And like these algorithms, they learn your preferences the same way that the subconscious learns your preferences. And they feed you more of the same thing, reinforcing these patterns until they're just like reflective. And they make you think that you're right, but you're not right. It's just pattern repeating. It's like this repetition compulsion. And it's automated, it's global, and it's making someone money. Like no one is going to stop this. Like you actively have to be the person to like remove yourself out of this situation because like it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. And like this system doesn't care about you being a good person or not. It doesn't care about good and evil and all of these right and wrong things. It mirrors this unconscious being amoral, which is whatever programming produces the strongest reaction. And again, another one of my shticks, I got a lot of shticks in life, but one of them is this quest that I'm on. If you've been listening to any of my last voice memos because I'm recording this as a voice memo. But if you listen to my other podcast episodes, I am completely committed and deeply devoted to staying honest and staying true to myself right now. Being a good person. We have free will. We have available to us at all times. And I choose to use my free will to be a good person. I don't care what other people do with it. It just feels to me very important. And so social media doesn't give a fuck if you're a good person or not. It doesn't care. It does not care. And that to me is so just like in opposition with everything that my awareness is right now. Because I'm probably dedicating, I don't know how long it's going to take, but like I said, I took 1 year to just contemplate on the word discernment. And now for the last, I don't even know, 5-6 months, all I've been doing is thinking about staying honest and true to myself in every situation, showing up as me. And social media doesn't care. Your subconscious doesn't care. These things do not care, but I care. And that is part of my evolution and growth. Anyways, I think it's also important to talk about time because social media completely collapses time. Everyone knows about this. You will literally be scrolling and all of a sudden like 4 hours have passed and you're like, how did that even happen? That to me is weird. How is time bending in that way? I don't like it. This system evolves to protect its own survival, not your own. The natural laws try to protect everyone in the ecosystem. This system evolves to protect its own survival. It's completely selfish. More data, more personalization, more time spent online equals more profit. The bigger this beast will get. It does not care about you. It doesn't care about you at all. This is exactly how the unconscious keeps replaying what it thinks it needs to survive, even if it harms you and it harms other people. This is self-sabotage. This is the sabotage you have towards others. It's all bullshit, okay? And I'm just over it. I'm completely over it. Now, to wrap it up, to talk about what I'm currently doing is, actually, you know what? I have one more thing I need to say, and it has to do with silence. It has to do with fucking silence. Oh, God, sweet, sweet silence. Whether you delete social media, create content for social media, consume social media, whatever it is, I don't care. It's not my fucking business what anyone does. I know what I'm going to be doing. Maybe I'll share about it. This is already 40 minutes long, so I don't even know. But the one thing I really want to leave everyone with, and it is so prevalent to me, that this is, it's my truth. I don't know if this is truth for everybody, but it's my truth, and it feels very important for me to share. We need to reclaim our own thoughts. How do we do that? Silence. We need silence to hear our own truth. The constant, I'm snapping here because I don't know a word, but the constant snapping and information overload of social media and overstimulation, it's so easy to forget about what you truly desire or even to hear your own thoughts. There is this beautiful wisdom, this innate, I'm like, come on, y'all, we got God within us. We have the universe, the stars are within you, the galaxies of creation literally exist within inside of you. You need to cultivate silence for yourself, silence to hear these things within you. I want to encourage you all to take some time away from anything, creating any stimulation, anything at all, and reconnect with your own thoughts, your own needs, and your own values. You do not need to opinion shop. You do not need to ask around. You do not need to write a book because everyone online is telling you to write a book. You don't need to be an entrepreneur because everyone online is telling you to be an entrepreneur. You don't need to go travel because everyone's telling you to travel. You don't need to climb a corporate ladder because everyone's telling you to climb a corporate ladder. You don't need to have a family if you don't want a family. You don't need to go to school if you don't want to. You don't need to do anything that you don't want to. But you most certainly should do the things that you want. You most certainly should. And I'm talking about the things that you actually want. Not this, I think I called it mimetic desire? Whatever. Look it up. Look it up. It is a desire that is not coming from within you. It's coming from outside of you. And I think that is the plague. That is the plague that can happen for the human experience. Because one day you're going to wake up, you're going to be 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, God willing 100. And you're going to be like, holy shit. I didn't even do any of the things I wanted to do. I did other things because other people were telling me to do it, or I wasn't even thinking my own thoughts. And the worst part is, I think so many people think that they're having their own thoughts. And I'm like, no, you're not. Because you're saying the exact same thing that I'm hearing 5 other people say. Or you're all dressing the same. Or you're all acting the same. You're all having the exact same thoughts, and you don't even know why you're thinking them just because you're on social media. Oh my God. And I'm just like, please, people, we need silence. We need silence. Social media is not neutral. It is not a neutral tool. No, it's not neutral. It's engineered to exploit our primal instincts in a way that is not giving us anything in return. And it's manipulating our need for connection and validation. And it's operating by man-made rules, not universal laws. I want to invite you to reflect on your own experiences with social media, your own experiences with the best days of your life, and the effects of your well-being. I'm currently not going on social media. So this will be interesting because it is kind of like, how am I, because the next journey of Jenna, the next journey of Miss Jenna Marilyn is a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? And it feels as though in today's day and age, you have to, if you are creating your own thing, you have to have a social media presence. You have to, because it's like, how am I going to share that I created this episode? I don't even fucking care though, you guys. I think that's actually the thing is I really don't care if this reaches people or not. Well, not that I don't care if it reaches people. I mean, I hope it does reach people, but I don't care to advertise my shit. I do not care. I have a feeling inside of my heart, in my spirit, and in my soul that this is going to reach the right people that need to hear it. I don't need to put this on Instagram. I don't need an Instagram. I don't need to have a Facebook. I don't need to have TikTok. I don't need to have any of that bullshit. Nope. I'm leaking my energy out, and I want to keep it to myself, and I want to keep it to my loved ones, and I want to keep it for what I want to cultivate, because I know exactly what I want to cultivate. Well, not exactly, but like, I know what I want to be moving towards, and it has nothing to do with social media, even in the slightest. And I'm trusting it. I am trusting it. So this is for you or for me. I don't know, but it felt really good that I got to get this off my chest. So anyways, social media is wackadoodle as hell. And maybe I actually will listen to the episode I recorded last week, which I did not come out with an episode last week, but I did record one. And I'll see, maybe I could, maybe upload 2 episodes this week. I don't know, because they're all going to be about social media. And I feel like I'm going to be talking about social media for quite some time, because I'm not on social media right now. I haven't been on social media since the 2nd. I think it's the 8th, the 9th. And I don't plan on going on it again. I've went through phases of my life without being on social media. They were the best years of my life. So I would love to hear anyone's thoughts. And I mean that so sincerely. I'm like, maybe I need to put like my email or something in here now, because I'm like, don't DM me. I don't want to be I don't want to have it. I don't want to have Instagram and all these other things, but I do know I love podcasting, and I love talking to you guys so much. So let's see. I don't know. I'm rambling now, because this is what I always do at the end. But live la vida loca. Social media is weird. And I need to be Jenna. More than anything in this entire world, I need to be Jenna. So this is just Jenna. This is just Jenna, and you are just a human being, and that's all we're doing. And I think you're all so sweet, and whatever you want to do is perfectly cool with me, because it does not affect me. But I affect me, and that's the most important thing. Okay, I love you guys. I love you guys. Yeah, love you. Okay, bye.